Captain Robertson, sir. It's a cutter. They say the Eldridge has vanished.
Of course she has. She's radar invisible.
No, sir.
Egads, yikes. Allegedly, in the fall of 1943, a U.S. Navy destroyer was made invisible and teleported from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Norfolk, Virginia in an incident known as the Philadelphia Experiment. You're seeing scenes from the 1984 movie. Now, records in the Operational Archives branch of the U.S. Naval Historical Center have been repeatedly searched, but no documents have been located to confirm the event. So there are hundreds of witnesses to whatever happened that day on the USS Eldridge. The truth is in here. Welcome back to CH Morning Live. Rob McConnell of the X Zone.
Good morning, Bob.
This is a good one. It was a good movie, too. Fact
movie.
or fiction?
Well, I'll go with fiction on this one.
Okay. Debunk away.
All right, debunk away.
And I should say this is actually maybe related to degaussing, which is used today with Navy submarines.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, there is no proof whatsoever that this experiment actually happened. We know for a fact Einstein was a part-time consultant with the Navy, but all records show that Einstein only worked when it came to explosives and the effects of explosions. Now, the idea that the Eldridge was in Philadelphia, it's impossible because according to not only the naval records, but the Port Authority of Philadelphia, the USS Eldridge was never in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
That's because it was invisible, Rob McConnell.
That's a good theory. Thanks, Bob.
But let's separate the fact from the fiction. The Eldridge, was there any experiment dealing with cloaking the ship?
Definitely. Stealth technology was studied in World War II because they wanted to actually get back and sneak up on their enemies and take them by surprise.
Right.
Now, it also went under the code name Project Rainbow or Operation Rainbow. The only Operation Rainbow that exists with the Department of War in the U.S. is a plan that went into action shortly after the attack on Pearl Harbor, where the Allies were actually planning an invasion on Rome, Italy, and Tokyo. That never happened.
And unrelated.
Exactly.
But this unified field theory, which Einstein never completed,
that's right.
But popular opinion, or the theory as the theory goes, if you have a magnetic field powerful enough, you'll actually bend time and space, and you'll yield the ship, or render it invisible.
Well, he may not have finished that experiment, but we know today through quantum physics that that's exactly what does happen because of the electromagnetic field around the Earth, and each one of us generates our own electromagnetic field, and this can be seen in orophotography. So was he right? Yes, he was. Did the experiment happen? Well, people say, Rob, you know, what about Roswell? What about this? What about that? What about Stargate? Is it possible that it happened and the government is suppressing it? If there were so many witnesses as are purportedly to have witnessed this experiment, if people did materialize in the bulkhead, if people were only half exposed, wouldn't this be one of the events where we could actually say, there's proof, here are the names, nobody's come forth? One of the chief witnesses was the Lieutenant Commander William Dodge, who was the commander aboard the ship where all these sailors were purported to have seen this experiment happen. According to the master of the ship and all senior officers on board, they never were in the same area as the USS Eldridge was at all.
What propelled the myth? There's that Allende guy, Carlos Miguel Allende, who said another ship, the Forsyth, USS Forsyth, I believe it was, that did some mid-ocean experiments, related experiments, and that's where he was saying that sailors were melted into the bulkheads. And
the Forsyth was not a naval ship. It was a merchant ship, number one. Number two, it was the Lieutenant Commander William Dodge, who was the master of that ship, who said they never had anything to do with the Eldridge. They were never in the same port as the Eldridge at the same time. Yes, they were in Norfolk, Virginia, but they were not there at the same time as the Eldridge. We're looking at another Roswell. We're looking at another lunar conspiracy.
Fascinating stuff, though, and we can find out more online on your website.
That's right. If you want to go to our website at www.xzone-radio.com, there's a link there that'll bring you right to the Naval Archives where all this information is very well documented.
Sadly, we have to make you invisible now.
Yeah, I've been told to disappear before.
All right, and we'll make Nicola magically appear here with a magical weekend forecast.
Hey, Bob, we're having a pooch